This quick video is to remind you what we call different fractions using a pie shape. So if I didn't cut anything out of this pie, I would call this, of course, a whole. If I were going to cut this pie into two parts, I would call this fraction halves. If I was going to cut this pie into three equal parts, I would have what we call thirds. If I were to cut this circle into four equal parts, I would have what we call fourths. If I was going to cut this into six equal parts to the best of my ability, I draw one big fat X and a line down the middle, and I would call this 6 for my 6 equal parts. If I was going to cut this into 8 equal parts, I'd have a plus sign and a times sign, and I would call these eighths. And I'm going to go ahead and use a rectangle and draw 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts that I'm going to cut in half. And I would have 10 equal parts, and I would call this tenths. Fractions all have interesting names, and remember that's how I always say the denominator. Whole, halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, eighths, and tenths. Viviana cut her pie into 8 equal parts. The pie is cut into what? So I'm going to go ahead and draw Viviana's pie. I know that she cut her pie into 8 equal parts. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it into 8 equal parts. Remember, that's a plus sign and a times sign. And the pie is then cut into, if I have 8 equal parts, I call that eighths as my answer.